Hi to all. This topic is Cassandra. Cassandra is a NoSQL database. In this chapter, we are going to see about introduction about and Cassandra and the features of Cassandra. Before that, Cassandra is another NoSQL database. The features of NoSQL database here I am going to tell is about to create, read, update, and delete operations using CQLSH. First, let we see about the introduction about Cassandra. In this chapter, what are the few points about the Cassandra? Or the first one is Apache Cassandra was born at Facebook. After Facebook open source the code in 2008, Cassandra became an Apache incubator project in 2009. It is became a top level Apache project in 2010. It is built on Amazon's Dynamo and Google Bigtable databases. Cassandra does not compromise on availability. It does not follow the master slave architecture. Instead of that, it follows a distributed databases. It does not follow any master slave architecture. In Cassandra, there is no question of single point of failure. This is one of the big feature of Cassandra. And then it is highly scalable, high performance distributed databases. It manages and distributes a gigantic amount of data across commodity servers. The next point is it is a column based database and support peer-to-peer symmetric node instead of master slave architecture. It supports peer-to-peer slave architecture, peer-to-peer system symmetric nodes instead of master slave architecture. Then it uses the cap theorem and base. Base means basically available soft state eventual consistency approach. It uses the availability, uh, it enhances its availability by the use of partition tolerance properties of cap theorem and base. Then where Cassandra are used nowadays, or it is used in Twitter, Netflix, Cisco, Adobe, eBay, and Rackspace. What are the features of Cassandra are? It is open source, distributed, decentralized, no single point of failure, column oriented, and peer to peer, and elastic scalability. Next, we can see the features in detail. The first one is peer to peer network. NoSQL databases, Cassandra follow the peer-to-peer network instead of peer-to-peer network, not master slave. So here, what is the peer-to-peer network is? This is the sample of Cassandra cluster. Each node is equivalent to the other. E- Each node is replicated to the other node. With any other As with any other NoSQL database, Cassandra is designed to distribute and manage large load across multiple nodes in a cluster constituted of community hardware. Cassandra does not have a master slave architecture, which means it does not have a single point of failure. Cassandra does not use master slave because it uses the peer-to-peer architecture. By the use of this peer-to-peer architecture only, it achieves the concept of availability, and there is a no question of single point of failure. These tools are achieved by the use of only the peer-to-peer network, not master slave architecture. See in the picture, in these are all the nodes connected together. This is a peer-to-peer network. In case of a Cassandra is a node in a Cassandra is structurally identical to any other node. A node in the Cassandra is this node is identical to this one, and this node is identical to this one. This is one of the major feature of the Cassandra. In case a node fails or is taken offline, it is definitely impact throughput. However, in case of graceful degradation, everything does not come crashing at any given instant owing to a node failure. One can still go about business as usual. So peer-to-peer distributed database is very useful to this useful to handle the fault tolerance and all those things. Uh, and then the Cassandra uses the peer-to-peer network to achieve the availability. Next topic is gossip and failure reduction. Gossip is a protocol used to Gossip is a protocol is used for intra-ring communication. It is a peer-to-peer communication protocol which eases the discovery and sharing of location and state information with other nodes in the cluster. A cluster is a group of nodes that are connected together. In that cluster, each node are identical to each one. In this picture, you can see this is the format of the gossip protocol. This has the message, I know this, tell me please, and what is this is what I know. Like that, the protocol will work. Although there are quite few subtitles involved, but as in the core simple robot system, a node only has to send out communication to subset of other nodes. For repairing unread data, Cassandra uses what's called an anti-entropy version of the gossip protocol. Next topic is the partitioner. Partitioner takes a call on how to distribute data on various nodes in a cluster. Partitioner is a thing in a cluster. How data are distributed is called the partitioning concept. It also determines the node on which to take place very first copy of the data. Basically, a partitioner is a hash function to compute the token of the partition key. The partition key helps to identify a row uniquely. Then replication factor. So the replication factor determines the number of copies that will be stored across the nodes in a cluster. If one wishes to store only one copy of each row on one node, they should set the replication factor to 1. If one wishes to store only one copy of each row on the node, they should set the replication factor to 1. However, if the need is for two copies of each row of data on the two different nodes, one should go with replication factor of 2. Like that, you can set the replication factors. Two replication strategies are available. The first one is simple strategy, second one is network topology strategy. The preferred one is network topology strategy. It is simple and support easy expansion to multiple data centers. The next topic is anti-entropy and read repair. Anti-entropy means how to recover data from the failure, like that. So a cluster is made up of several nodes. Since a cluster is constituted of commodity hardware, it is prone to failure. In order to achieve fault tolerant, a given piece of data is replicated on one or more devices. To achieve fault tolerance, some piece of data or replicated on one or more nodes, a client can connect to any node in the cluster to read data. If a client specified consistency is not met, the read operations block. How many nodes will be read before responding to the client is based on the consistency level specified by the client. If the client specified consistency is not met, the read operations blocks. There is a possibility that few of the nodes may respond with an outdate value. In such cases, Cassandra will initiate a read repair operation to bring the replicas with the stale values up to date. For repairing unread data, Cassandra uses anti-entropy version of gossip protocol. So anti-entropy version of gossip protocol is used to get the unread data from unread data of repairing. Next, the write in Cassandra. Let us look behind the scene activities. How is a client that initiates a write request? When his write get returned to, is it first returned to the commit log? A write is taken as successful only if it is returned on the commit log. A write is taken successful only if it is if it is returned to the commit log. The next step is to push the write to the memory resistant data structure called memtable. After the memtable is fully reaches the threshold state, it is flushed into the disk file called ss table. SS table means storing sorted string table. Flushing is a non-blocking operation. It is possible to have multiple mem tables for a single column family. Next one is hinted handoff. Uh, the first question that arises is why Cassandra is for all availability, because Cassandra, one of the main feature of the Cassandra is what we said in first thing is no single question, no single point of failure. So how is it is achievable by the use of this hint of concepts. Assume that we have a cluster of 3 nodes. Here there are 3 nodes. There is a one client. This node C is not working. It is under any problem or any repairing work. Now the 2 nodes only working. Node A and node B only in the working state. Node C is not in the working state. C is down for some reason. We are maintaining a replication factor of 2. Why we have the replication factor of 2 means we have to the replication factor working the node B and also for node C. In the nodes, the replication data of node C are stored in a separate file until it will get from the problem. Until it recover from the problem, we can store the content of the node C in a file. So we are maintaining a replication factor of 2, which implies that the 2 copies of the each row will be stored on the 2 different nodes. The client makes write nodes on the node A. A node A is a coordinator here, and also the node A is serves as a proxy between the client and the nodes on which replica is to be placed. The node A is the coordinator, and it also acts as a proxy between the client and the node on which the replica is to be placed. The writes row k to the node A. Node A then writes row k to the node B and stores a hint in the node C. Node A writes the copy of the row k, and then it also write the copy in the node B, and also it takes the copy for the node C. When the node C recover from its problem, the data are copied to the node C as a hint. The hint will be have the following information: location of the node on which the replica is to be placed, version metadata, the actual data. Next is turnable consistency. Turnable consistency are rather for 2 types. It is also one of the features of Cassandra. The first one is strong consistency. Second one is eventual consistency. The strong consistency means will ensure that all of the servers should have a copy of all data, will have it before the client is acknowledged with success. What is the eventual consistency is, if you work with eventual consistency, it implies that the client is acknowledged with the success as soon as the part of the cluster acknowledges the write. Thank you, girls.